Aaliyah was carried unconscious onto plane before fatal crash.
To go deep, but a lot of people
Was conveyed oblivious onto plane before deadly accident. I could dive deep, yet a many individuals I would need to truly bring who you understand what I'm talking about for what I realized, and she just was chopped down in a grate. It seems like another very much protected secret by the business being uncovered, and somebody may at last go down for being associated with the less than ideal end of Aaron's fight, Aaliyah. As of late, one exceptionally fascinating meeting with Mary J. B. L. has surfaced where she implied that the sad plane accident that ended Aaliyah's life was an arrangement and an industry penance. Here's considerably more. Mary alluded to Jay-Z's contribution in this baffling occurrence and, surprisingly, energized the doubts that Aaliyah's death was important to make beyond the new sovereign of R&B. It's been over a long time since Aaliyah died, and it appears as though we are at last getting every bit of relevant information about it this evening. Her family is in grieving. Fans inquire ring as to why her upright up till now fans and family interest for her case to be resumed, and with new subtleties coming from Mary J. drained about Aaliyah being forfeited by the business monsters, we are drawing nearer to disentangling another secret. In August 2001, vocalist Aaliyah unfortunately lost her life after her plane bound for Miami crashed under a moment after departure in the Bahamas. The authority examination expressed that the small airplane had surpassed its dispensed weight, and it made it hard for the pilot control planes soon after taking off for Florida in wonderful weather conditions unexpectedly plunged to the ground. Specialists currently expressing one of the motors evidently bombed anyway. It's been for some time been hypothesized that there was nothing unplanned about that lethal accident, and the vocalist's destruction was favorable for a few strong figures in the business. As per Mary J. Blige, a ton of subtleties in the story doesn't make any sense, and Aaliyah's end seems to be another industry's penance, and she accepts that Jay-Z really had his motivations to dispose of this young lady. In her presently erased interview with Oprah, she shared what Aaliyah's episode meant for her. Colloquialism. My life was her life. She was encircled by individuals who weren't telling her the genuine article. We weren't dear companions yet. I chatted with her multiple times. I might have been the lady on that plan. Faction seems to be after the new disclosures about Diddy's dull lifetime. He business top dogs hurried to hide their filthy privileged insights where no one will think to look, which just powers hypotheses about Aaliyah holding up traffic of the Broadway and the revolting deeds in the entire episode being only a concealment for high rollers. They had a premium to keep him above water. They were bringing in a lot of cash. We know the authority variant of what occurred after Aaliyah's plane took off and went to Miami anyway. It's overall to a great extent guessed that the episode was coordinated, and since that plane crashed, numerous columnists were attempting to uncover reality. And it seems like of them prevail. In her 2021 book entitled Child Young Lady, otherwise called Aaliyah, the writer Kathy and Ollie shares the full story of Aaliyah's last hours. And it expresses that the artist wouldn't load up that scandalous plane back to Miami since she felt apprehensive seeing such a little airplane, which was demonstrated by her damn scramble she got on the plane, and she generally had an intense anxiety toward planes in everyday so she needed to conquer a trepidation to get on that plane. The 22-year-old artist grumbling she had a cerebral pain move once more into the taxi van. As one observer, the child of Aaliyah's driver in Bahamas, reviewed, one of the vocalist's colleague gave her a pill, which she took prior to falling into a profound rest, subsequent to being given a strange pill. Aya had no way out in light of the fact that regardless of her fights she had been Ian conveyed inside the airplane, being totally oblivious, and you realize that occurred after that. The flight took off at 6:50 p.m. In any case, it had just got somewhere in the range of 60 and 100 ft in the air before plunging down to the ground. Aaliyah and 6 of the 8 others on board were gone quickly. 2 others died later in clinic, yet her life, her fantasies were accepted away. The destruction sass now. While the world grieved Aaliyah for quite a long time, there were individuals who figured out how to utilize this misfortune for their potential benefit, like Jay-Z and his future spouse, Sovereign Honey Bee. It was subsequent. Lie uncovered that the seat on the underlying personal luxury plane that it should take had been taken by Promotion Williams, and it possibly adds to hypothesis of Jay-Z contribution. When you watch the video Tipsy Love, coordinated by exactly the same Promotion Williams, where Beyonce is holding an honor In the initial scenes, joined by a vile tune as though representing that it might have been Aaliyah's in the event that she consented to date Jay-Z, fans likewise don't feel that this is a happenstance, since with regards to Jay-Z, there can't be something like this since that video was delivered. Many individuals guess that Aaliyah's plane crash was coordinated by the music tycoon, and her death was a penance. As one individual remarked, the plane was way overburdened, she was quieted, Diddy was involved. Definitely she was taken out. And another client added they univ her. And there was different individuals included. God sees everything, except how could Jay-Z in the business need to kill this young lady? Oh, it's anything but a mysterious that Jay's was enamored with Aaliyah. And surprisingly, her then sweetheart woman Run uncovered that Jay was keen on dating the vocalist as he said the battle for the artist's consideration. For extreme, everyone was attempting to get to Aaliyah, it was not simply Jay. I didn't realize they was attempting to holler at her, however. At that point, it happened like that. He was attempting, I was attempting, everyone was attempting. Hello day, I was attempting HED. L as Mary J. B. L currently says on the off chance that Aaliyah had picked Jay-Z and not Lady back in the days, she could be in the spot of B as the music versatile's accomplice and widely popular star. These contemplations were supported by Puma Wright, who once referenced that it was all not occurrence, that the hour of Aaliyah's grievous episode and the emergency in Beyonce's profession sort of occurred simultaneously, and Beyonce's performance vocation was battling clearly. Jay's couldn't permit another young lady rule the R&B stage other than his sweetheart, and that is the reason he needed to forfeit one of them. And as Mary J. B. L accepts, the decision was simple. Since Aaliyah started woman dating Run and Jay-Z wound up with Beyond, and he frantically need to assist her with solo careering, obviously close to really certain and effective. Aaliyah Beyond didn't have a solitary potential for success and was ill-fated to reside in the shadow of her prosperity. She was our age. And it's terrifying in light of the fact that that might have been any of us, so something should have been finished to allow the future sovereign honeybee an opportunity to sparkle. Would additionally perhaps an unusual fortuitous event, yet nobody, particularly Mary J.B., thinks it is the way that Jay-Z Beyond opened up to the world about their relationship that very year. Aaliyah died, and here's another clue that they had something to do with Aaliyah's less than ideal end. The couple's most memorable operation was a 2002 melody called Three Bonnie and Clyde, evidently motivated by the picture of two hoodlums who are frequently romanticized by individuals as a people in love revolting from power and being against the world. It could be only a wild connivance, yet you understand what it seems like. The timing couldn't be more ideal for the future sovereign be performance vocation to take off in light of the fact that the primary contest had been effectively disposed of a couple of months before. It actually a scheme, assuming a similar individual continues to bid off similar sort of misfortune. Such disclosures cause Aaliyah's fan to feel miserable in light of the fact that this young lady ought to have carried on with a long life and rocked the errand stage. She had sufficient ability, openly adoration for that anyway. A few compelling figures will continuously hinder and of unadulterated achievement, and Aya herself felt that haziness is shutting on her, as the writer of the book referenced, and discovering that she would have rather not gotten on the plane for somebody such as myself, thus numerous others. I believe that is conclusion for us. It's a sad conclusion with fingers pointing at Jay-Z for a long time. There are a few numerous unspeakable things that he figured out how to pull off. And his impact and influence just gets greater with each new year. You got to do the sort of things that he's finished to get where he's gotten. So the business been murmuring, and presently Mary J. Blige sat. Yes, that Jay-Z was prepared to forfeit a wonderful soul just to make the young lady close to him a newer sensation. And since Aya wouldn't date the music maker in return for distinction and abundance and decided to be with woman, Run rather, she must be forfeited. And it was so constant around then to wipe out the opposition among male specialists, and we know from the tales about Diddy forfeiting Tupac, it seems to be Jay-Z scholarly these evil stunts to lift the vocation of his sweetheart Beyond, and a Mary J. B. L says now is the right time to shut down these savages, things that we used to be okay with. We got to translate, whether it's doubt or wisdom, as per Mary J. Die. There's a valid justification to trust that this scandalous team, or if nothing else, Jay-Z, had something to do with Aaliyah's